So, starting out the show tonight, this next artist, she was so grateful that I knew how she was dressed. And when she gets up here, I'm not going to tell you. I am not going to tell you. If you know your cultural movie history, and yes, the movie's about 30 plus years old. But when you get up here, you gotta guess what character she is dressed as. Give it up for Janet.
I think I'm gonna go over to this one.
Go for it.
I think I'm gonna go over to this one, which means everybody has to turn around and move. But I'm sorry that I just found out that I was gonna be first, so I didn't get to hear any music for it. And I'll just lift this up so you can see, oh, maybe that helps if you can actually read what the shirt says. But I won't tell you who I am. I would like to read 2 poems for you. This first one was a suggestion from John, since I am dressed for Halloween, that I should read this poem that I have on my phone to share with you that is called This Halloween. This Halloween I got a costume together. I wore a black page boy wig, a vinyl dress, and matching vinyl boots. It was strange for me. I'm not such an outgoing person. But every time I was left alone at the bar, someone would hit on me. Usually someone ugly. But I didn't tell them to leave me alone. I gave them a fake name, a fake number. And looking back, what made the difference was not wearing the revealing clothes, but wearing a wig, changing my identity. And it's not like I do that again, but I must admit, I really like being someone else for just a little while. And I'm a literary magazine editor, cc&d magazine. It used to be in saddle stitch form, and I tell people if they were in a really old issue and want it reprinted into a reprint in 2019 as an Amazon book, this is one of them. Somebody asked for a May 1996 issue to be reprinted, and I've got this for you, poetry in prose, with the original cover for it. This is a poem that was in the letters to the editor section, and it is a poem called The State of the Nation. My phone rang earlier today, and I picked it up and I said, hello. And the man at the other end said, is this Janet Kuypers? And I said, yes, this is. May I ask who's calling? And he said, oh yeah, hi, this is George Washington, and I'm sitting here with Jefferson and a couple of other guys. We just wanted to tell you a few things. And I said, why me? And he said, excuse me, I believe I said I was the one that wanted to do the talking. God, that is the problem with Americans nowadays. They're so damn rude. And I said, you really didn't have to use language like that. And he said, oh, I'm sorry, it's just that I've been dead for so long, I lose all control of my manners. Well, anyway, we just wanted to tell you a few things. Now, I know we really didn't have much of an idea of what we were doing when we were starting this country here. I mean, we didn't have much experience in creating bodies of power, so I could understand how our Constitution could be misconstrued. And then he put in a dramatic pause, and he said, but when we said that people had a right to bear arms, we meant to protect themselves from a government gone wrong, and not so you can kill an innocent person for $20 cash. And when we said freedom of religion, we included the notion of the separation of church and state, because freedom of religion could mean freedom from religion. And when we said freedom of speech, we had no idea you'd be burning the flag, or painting pictures of Christ doused in urine, or photographing people with whips up their respective anatomies. But I guess we've got to grin and bear it, because if we ban that, the next thing they'll ban is books, so we can't have that. And I said, but there are schools that have books banned, George. And he said, oh. Thank you.
Coming up next. Top hits, people. Coming up next. she's a lot of fun coming up next. Yeah. Let's just give it up for Janet.
Yeah, not particularly fond of that room.
Kick his ass, kick his ass.
No. I don't like to be associated with that movie. That's all. Anyway, Sunday. Next Sunday happens to be a day before actually coming here that you can get your poetic license. I run an open mic on the first Sunday of every month from 3:30 till 5:30 in the afternoon at Recycled Reads. It's called poetic license because we all need that every once in a while. So there's an event listing for it that I just posted up today. If anybody wants to check it out, that would be double plus cool.
And where is Recycled Reads?
It's on Burnett Road, and I don't remember the address. It's the only bookstore associated, or the bookstore associated with the Austin Public Library. I don't know the address off the top of my head, but on Burnett Road.
Google it.
Google it. It's Recycled Reads.
It's like near Monkey Nest Coffee.
He says it's near Monkey Nest Coffee. There you go. I don't drink coffee, so I can't help you with that one. So I thought I would share with you, because I've been writing poems every day of the year, 2 poems from this book, Every Event of the Year. This is volume 1. It's only the first half of the year. There are that many poems for that many weird events. Hey, there might be a poem for Sword Swallowing Day, or the weirdest events ever, and there's stuff about it in this book. So I was going to share with you 2 poems from this book. This first one, I believe, is May 22nd, and it is World Goth Day.
Gemini!
World Goth Day, called Exude More in Black. There are a select few who understand the ludicrosity of life at a very early age. And maybe it is at that early age that we feel more tormented than any adult, even if they have problems from their job, their precious, meaningless job. We see people parade around like they're either in a fashion show or, more appropriately, a circus. So who cares if we're dressing like Halloween is every day, or if we wear black on the outside because black is how we feel on the inside? Because even if we can't wish Morrissey an unhappy birthday today, or drink one with him that becomes 4, and when we fall on the floor we drink more, we can still wear black and talk and act all proto-goth. And you can think that we're all about depression, and you're right, it's true. It's hard to be happy when you don't hide from evil. But just keep in mind that this black we wear, this black is actually the presence of all color. So we just see and exude more than you could ever do. We've known it since our childhood, for that is what it means that we grasp more than you. It's weird to come up with things for every single weird holiday. This actually was written on the day that Ted Zynski, the Unabomber, was actually arrested. This is Zynski's Manifesto. As a journalist and as a woman, I wanted to share the news with my literary compatriots, and it seemed fitting to include the Unabomber Manifesto in the, get this, electronic version of my literary magazine. How is that not a stab in the back for a man who hated technology? As a woman, as a writer, I try to get the word out to as many people as I can. So sure, I chose to sell my soul and succumb to the World Wide Web as a means to an end. And although the expanded audience is great, you do lose humanity and interactivity with people on the other side of the planet that you'll probably never meet. By the way, the only reason I ever got a smartphone was after a move across the country and looking for a home when I was all alone. So I suppose I am a Luddite at heart, and I can totally comprehend how, when I sometimes want to have my space, how too many people can be too much of a problem. So, if I wanted to be left alone, if I was trying to shock the system and I was trying to keep my space, sure, I'd remain unkempt. Even Albert Einstein didn't worry about looking good or getting dressed up while he was staying in his pajamas because he was writing his own manifesto. Now, I still even wear my Vegetarian Planet hoodie sweatshirt and call myself the Vegetarian Unabomber, but I like the sunglasses from those police sketches of him And I suppose I also lack the bombs. Unless it's bombs of what I write. If only people would read my words. If only people would react, respond. I wonder if he knew what I'm only beginning to understand. That sometimes words are never enough. Thank you. Thank you.
Give it up for Janet.